All right, how's it going? Welcome to Team Fortress TV. This is ETF2L Season 27, Week number 6. We have Nunya versus ANTIC for you tonight. Joining me on the microphone, we have TurboTabs, and on production, Mr. Beta. So how's it going, TurboTabs?
Pretty good, Everex. I've been working in the kitchen over a hot stove over these nice Gentleman John reports, but now I've just noticed both teams have actually somewhat turned up on time. And when I say on time, I mean like 15 minutes later, but that's a lot more on time than I thought they would be.
I mean, we'll give that to them. That's pretty good for TF2 teams, at least.
Yeah, see, no time for all those reports I made. I slaved over. It's time to get straight into the game.
That feels bad. Yeah, we're jumping straight into this. Absolutely no delay whatsoever.
Oh, if you're just joining us, by the way, this is ETF2L Season 27, powered by TT Sports. This is ANTIC versus the Absolute Nuts, or Nunya, or Absolute Nunya, whatever you want to call them. Take us away on Midi, everyone.
Indeed. All right, we have Smear and Ratslayer having a little face-off on their demo classes. Yellen up on top left with Hank the Merc for Nunya right now. Normally, Nunya's soldiers go quite aggressive, and what is this, actually? ANTIC have just left mid. They have walked away as soon as Tom dies. So that's very interesting. Nunya are on the chase already, actually. They're walking into this grass area already, looking to take the fight straight to ANTIC. Serotonin just being spammed out a little bit. We have Ams up on the rock. It looks like Scrap went forward there for a little bit of damage. Ratslayer is quite weak, and Yellen and Hank managed to take down Piscari and Scrab. Tom goes in deep for Condor, gets good damage, actually forces him off. So he is going to be cleaned up, but that's a bit of a three-man sack there. Make it 4.
Oh man, Smear was begging for a crossbow there. He was waiting patiently. You know, he just stands still, making it as easy for your medic to shoot you as possible. But all it did was made it easy for the scout, and now they're still following through with this. Oh, nice share shot going out by Ams. And here comes the Uber from Serotonin to just block out that point just in the nick of time. Gink is giving them the kind of ring around the roses though. Look at
He's still not
dodging.
Dead. Oh my god.
He's a slippery Chinaman.
Fantastic from Gink. Yeah, just jumping around the top. He put good cap time onto the point, but didn't quite manage to follow it up. So we've actually seen quite a dominant round so far from Nunya. Somewhat surprising, I would say, but they're doing well this first round.
Yeah, that mid was probably just a call by Tom. I think Tom went down very early, and I could probably hear him all the way from here. Just saying, get out, horrible mid, worst mid of my life, get out, and everybody just followed suit. But it did manage to get a force on second though, so that's a lot better scenario for them than just having this pushing on last. Speaking of pushing on last, they're going in with the Uber now with the slight little advantage. They've got that double scout on the point, and they're trying to just sneak it off with just Yellen on there. Yellen will actually pull it off, actually pushes Tom from blocking that point, and the first round will be for the Absolute Nunya.
Yeah, it's just been so poor from ANTIC right now. They Nunya built themselves a nice advantage. They pushed in the right side, and ANTIC were just in spawn. They were absolutely nowhere close to the point, and it did just get capped off. So there we go, 1-0 to Nunya. Perhaps not the result people were expecting. So here we go, bid number 2. How about you walk us through this one?
Alright, the first thing I see on this mid is a big fat AMS bomb, but he actually backs off towards the tail end of it, and he will just timidly back off. Tom does go down, but he's provided a lot more space for his team compared to the last time, and you can see them kind of capitalizing on all these lemming Absolute Nut players just being thrown into the fire here, and they will just slowly win by just being defensive. So a much better mid coming out from ANTIC there.
Yeah, Ratslayer and Condog went down extremely early that mid from a nice sticky from Smear and something else as well. I think it was a soldier. So that pretty much took the fight away from Nunya, so they just sacked the remaining players in to try and get Serotonin, but they were actually unsuccessful. So Serotonin is going to have himself a full Uber. What's this? Ratslayer is in drop down. He's running away from there. He doesn't want any part of that.
Yeah, a little strange defensive measure set up by... Oh, actually, Hank opted to build the sentry gun close to the spawn door before actually throwing out the sentry gun hidden in the spot. Now, they are making the push on this left-hand side, though, over on ANTIC, and they're seeing how much ground they can get for free, and it seems quite a lot. They will eventually pop the Uber just because it feels a little bit hot in this environment here. AMS was brought down low. They've got a lot of scout cap time. Finally, Yellen will be the one to stand on the point, but he's the only one that stands on the point. Everybody else feels the rough end of those Beaven frags, and it's 1-1 already, Everex.
Yeah, that sentry, a nice little spot. I quite like that. You got to mix it up. You know, you don't want the sentry in the same place all the time. Otherwise, these teams just They come to expect it, they can spam it out, so that's quite nice, but I don't think it really aided in their defense too much. Just the point did just get played straight away. So yeah, here we go. Mid-fight number 3. Samir actually arrives a little bit earlier, but I don't think he manages to get any significant damage. He's just going to be healed up now, but Pappy has jumped all the way behind to choke, and Yellen goes in deep as well. So that's going to signal Tom to go forwards. He goes for a jump. Condog goes down really weak and does get cleaned up by AMS actually, so great stuff there. So it's just up to Nunya to see if they can get onto Serotonin now. Yellen is hiding around the corner here. He doesn't get taken down straight away by Biscari. But it's Ink and Hank now. It's all up to them. Ink gets cleaned up, and Hank's still hiding around this corner actually. Let's see if he can do anything sneaky.
Hank has been doing really well so far. He's been the only one that's been cleaning up the kills on this mid. Sadly, he goes down. A bit of a caster's curse towards the tail end there, but it's nice to see not much of the rust is affecting Hank at all entering this game.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. He's got the moves. He's got the jukes. He's dancing around. But Nunya are putting their soldiers in cheese right now.
Oh!
Pappy goes for a nice pick on Am's great rocket.
That's a land champion air shot.
It is indeed. Yeah, he's going to be slowing down this push a little bit with that pick. But Serotonin does have his Uber, sorry. So if they want to go for something here, I feel like they may be successful. But it looks like they're just opting to play it safe, wait for AMS to respawn, and then they're going to go for this push into second. But it's going to be a bit slow because Condog's been building well, and I think on 80% now, he's going to have his Uber up in time for this push. So maybe a missed opportunity there, TurboTabs, who knows?
Yeah, definitely agree. I'm a little surprised, to be honest. Usually you're a little worried maybe that they could have this sort of seesawing effect where you just push them out with the Uber in the end, but when you push them on that second, you can always just threaten them with that back cap as well, so it always makes that pushback from their own Uber over on the side of the Absolute Nords kind of not as effective as basically what ANTIC could throw at them.
Ooh, AMS goes down actually, a bit of a trade for Gink. I think Gink was sniping. And Puskari's on the sniper as well, so this trade is going to potentially signal a bit of room for him, and he's walking forward. He gets a nice headshot to Yellen, takes him down to about half health. And he hit Pappy, not quite, he's just dodging around that corner.
He's camping for the Pappy kill though. They actually decided to pop the Uber in, but they have not used their Uber until now. Serotonin will milk it a little bit, and he will counter with his own. Most of it is put onto Smear, so he should get like a fat single Uber. Scrab is the one that's been sent in though. He will get launched back, and nothing really comes from this little push, apart from Biscari getting the kill onto Pappy. What's going off with that? Must have been hitting on the marked for death with that equalizer. Gink will finally equalize things out with a pick onto Smear. That's going to put that push to a steaming halt. And Piscari, he's still kicking there on the sniper.
Yeah, a great defense from Nunya actually. They managed to get the superior end of that DM, and Hank is taking on Piscari now. He's actually not quite successful, doesn't manage to pick him off, even though he was a bit alone, but it does not matter because Nunya have retaken this mid, and they're looking to hold strong. They still have a sniper of their own, Mr. Ayat Gink. So let's see what he can be doing. Getting any picks right now in this window.
They know Piscari's on sniper, so this shouldn't be a surprise to them at all. And Piscari just got caught a glimpse of Gink as well on sniper, so they definitely know that both snipers are aware of each other basically. So this is going to play out a lot slower, I suppose, than most sniper picks or plays you'll probably usually see. Most of the time you don't really want to peek these corners for long, or just taking the same corner, because you know that a sniper could probably meet you around the very same corner. So they're just going to play it sheepishly on both sides so far. So hope you've bought a packed lunch, Everett.
Yeah, I'm ready for the slow game potentially, but I think Nunya have some quite aggressive soldiers, so I'd like to see them sort of come into play at some point. Maybe speed this up a bit with some coordination. Right now we are just sitting in a stalemate.
Wow, he almost got caught out there, but put his Superman
Did
cape
you surf onto the pipe?
Yeah, he
no
just surfed away from a sticky. And
he gets the pick
unexpected angle. Pappy was like, how did he get up there? Ratslayer, you've got some answers to give to me here. How on earth did he get up to that spot?
Unbelievable. Yeah, Amsy's in. He does good damage to Condog, doesn't manage to take him down though. Hank will click on him before Ams can click on to Condog. So Hank going a little bit aggressive, but does decide to back off. So with Ams still down, let's see if Nunya are going to go for something. They look like they want to go in. Hank's actually got a bit disconnected. He does force off actually, so That's a pretty good trade. If Condor can just get out here or milk this Uber for as long as possible, I think he's gonna opt for that one. He's all the way back here on this midpoint. So they've just managed to force off Serotonin and actually not lose an awful lot for it. So great play from Nunya.
Yeah, not only did he milk it, Everex, he also banked it, took it into a savings bond, and he's ready to cash in, probably. He's got an Uber charge ready for the second push, and they're feared. They're scared over on the side of ANTIC. They're all the way back in their own lobby with like 4 or 5 of their players. They're just hoping on Piscari to maybe bail them out of this situation, but actually, what's taking them so long?
They need to go now, actually. They're losing a lot of time here. Serotonin has 90% of his Uber. I think he's going to get this, yeah. Yelungo's jumping forward, Hank into lobby as well. He gets picked off, so actually with Piscari on Sniper, this could be looking bad for Nunya now as they start to play the cap, and the Uber actually comes in from ANTIC. They get a nice, oh my god, is that a double rocket onto Yellen and Ratslayer? Wow. Ams, great stuff there. Uber finally popped off from Condog, and Ams and Scrab are on the chase.
Oh, no.
They managed to pick him off, actually. Condog does go down. Pappy just leaping away. Think going down in the choke there. So almost a wipe on the side of Nunya as a great defense comes in from ANTIC and actually reclaims their mid.
What's going on, Everex? I don't know. It seems so simple. Like, I'm sure even some open players can figure out that if we have an Uber and they don't have an Uber, we should probably push in. And they just took their sweet time. I don't know what they were just dilly-dallying about.
They're giving all the play to ANTIC right now. Pappy, I think, is going to get picked off in this cheese. Yeah, he does. So Hank was hiding around the corner in choke, but he got spotted because it's not the greatest hiding spot I've ever seen. Put it that way. So that's 3 down from Nunya right now. Are ANTIC going to look to capitalize off that? They take the Uber in the left side here of last. Let's see if they're going to spot this sentry off. Yeah, Smear's just taking it down now, so there we go. But not a lot of picks actually as the respawn has come out from Nunya. Hank on that heavy on the right side, so he's delaying this as much as they can. Ams goes leaping forward now, and with Tom as well, they've done good damage, and actually Ratslayer goes down. But 3 frags as well, the side of Nunya. The point has almost been capped though. It's just
my god, he got a respawn.
Actually, we're on 6k on Sniper right now. And he clutched this.
He
picks off Yellen and he gets the round. Unbelievable. What is that, Piscari?
Man, you could see a bit of Snakewater just trying to fight back there. It was like, here's some more respawns. It's Snakewater after all. You can surely defend this, but Piscari just kind of bailing out his team at the last moments of the game. And thank God he picked up the submachine gun as well.
Yeah, he does run that quite a bit actually. He likes it just for the sort of clean-up damage. Well, I mean, he used it there to perfection, so great stuff from him. He's a very, very competent sniper indeed.
He's gone behind on this Miz, and he's actually he's been caught up by Pappy. So yeah, so with missing Aroma over on the side, and look, they backed out already. This is very similar to the first mid Everex. As soon as they lose Tom, they just back out. It seems like they just don't want to lose the round off the back of just losing a little advantage of mid. It's bizarre.
I don't think I understand it. Like, they've got the space. They've got Pappy in choke and, you know, a scout looking back for him. So if Ams jumped forward or Smear walks across the point, they could try and take a lot of room off Nunya. I don't know why they're respecting them so much. It's not like they've got a particularly big advantage in this game at all. But anyway, they seem to be wanting to re-push on the side of ANTIC through this catwalk. But good spam from Nunya does block that off as Ams comes launching in, takes down Hank. That's a great entry pick. He does get cleaned up though, and his team isn't quite with him. So I think that's just going to be a bit of a trade for now.
Yeah, if you're at the very least, if you're going to die as a roamer, if you can get that random pick onto the enemy scout or enemy roamer, it does usually just equalise these methods, and they're very unlikely to push out with Gink on Sniper as well. So it's just going to be back to that same old play as we've seen before, the good old Sniper stalemate. Let's see who wins this time.
Oh yes, this riveting entertainment from 2 snipers on Snakewater. It's always fun to watch. Just constantly rotating around and trying to click. But Piscari, he wins those. He clicks on Gink, takes him down. That's a nice pick. Let's see what ANTIC are going to do. Well, they're going to feed Scrab. That's what's going to happen. But Piscari, oh my god. Fantastic.
I think that's what you call a critical click.
It is indeed. He does headshot Condog there. Yellen and Pappy and Hank are quite deep in this choke. They're looking to flank maybe. Tom might get a bit caught off by Pappy. He's taking the 1v1 on second. Ams comes back as well. No. Pappy doesn't win those. He only wins 1v1s with Tom, not 1v2s. So yeah, ANTIC looking to retake mid now, potentially with that pick and the big Uber advantage they have.
They're taking their time a little bit, but I guess they can afford it. They have got Gink actually pulled up on Spy in the meantime, so I've got to find the Gink cam. Where is he? He's armed with an ice shard. He's coming to the back of the medic, taking his time, but they're moving so quickly, Everex, he can't actually get the back there in time. The sniper will find him, and there's a bit of a duel on mid, and again the submachine gun is 2007 TF2 at its finest. He will win against the Spy on mid, and he will get that second point off the back of it as well. And during all that chaos, Everex, Condog went down again, so they can keep riding this into the last point, hopefully.
Yeah, he did. Unfortunately, I didn't quite catch how he did, because my camera decided to stick itself into a wall and not want to move, so I just about caught the Piscari 1v1, but not much else. So I don't really have the lowdown on that one for you. But yeah, Serotonin does have a pretty sizable Uber advantage, as ANTIC are looking to make the push now. I think they're going to be opting for this left side again, so it's quite interesting. It's not the typical sort of push for when you have Uber advantage, but of course they've got Piscari on Sniper, and he does get that entry pick. So both soldiers from Nunya are actually down already. Pappy and Yellen have fallen. It's all up to Hank now to walk on that point. It's just getting capped off by Scrab there. I see he's going to win that third round for his team. I was getting confused there for a moment.
The Piscari star factor is really turning up for this game. It looked a bit shaky at first for ANTIC, but once they've just gone into the flow of the game, things are kind of solidifying from here. They're getting a nice early cushy 2-round up lead, and usually at this point teams can just start slowing it down and kind of dictating the pace of the game.
They can indeed. Alright, we have Tom and Piscari on this top right. Tom looks like he wants to go for a bit of a jump across, but actually both soldiers from Nunya doing the typical Nunya play, just jumping behind. But Ams cleans up Pappy, so that's not going to be very good for them. Yellen very weak as well, does get cleaned up. Smear did go down in the meantime, but with 3 down from Nunya, make that 4. This is looking pretty curtains for them right now. Gink is behind. 1v1ing Scrab. He doesn't win that, and Tom chasing down Condog, securing that kill on second. So great stuff. They've wiped Nunya. They've won that mid very confidently.
Yeah, it seems they're opting to just get the soldiers behind. Maybe they're just sick and tired of ANTIC constantly backing out as soon as the wind isn't just going the way of ANTIC at all. So if they can get some soldiers behind, maybe they can just prevent them from backing out. But this just makes their front line a lot weaker, and ANTIC are playing off this. As soon as they notice those soldiers go behind, or maybe they can just get that soldier pick at the start because Pappy's trying so hard to get behind as well, that they could just abuse the... Gink interrupts me with a nice headshot onto AMS, who was going for an ambitious bomb, but between the sentry gun and the sniper, I don't think any chance of that was going to happen. Gink is looking for more there.
Well, it looks like it's Serotonin's turn to give the other medic a full Uber now, because they've decided to cancel the push. Actually, Condog is going to be cottoning onto that and building up his Uber. So hopefully it can be a bit of an even defense, and that's what they need now on the side of Nunya. To not lose this round, and they can potentially start to build back that 2-round deficit they have at the moment. But it's doable. They've got 12 minutes to go, but you know, if this stalemate here on second drags on for much longer, it's going to start to look quite tricky. But Gink is actually peeking really aggressively. He doesn't quite know that there are stickies above him, and he does decide to back off a little bit. Well, that would have been nice if he managed to hit that.
Well, it's time to bring out the big guns, or shall I say the big gun. It's Piscari on the sniper class yet again. It's his main, it seems, in this game. He, I guess, sneakily swapped out while AMS died and opened the door for him, so they shouldn't see this coming over on the side of Nunya, unless they've been checking the classes in the respawn like good little team. But I haven't seen anybody really capitalise that, and they are just looking around for a spy, actually. It's, or at least Hank is.
Oh, Gink, nice headshot onto Smear. He does trade for that, but that's a good pick onto the demo, actually. Pretty much worth it every time. Let's see if Nunya are going to try to do something off that. It'd be nice to see. But they do have the NG on last, so a scout down, it's going to be quite tricky to push out. But we may see potentially a sack with no stickies to defend the way for them.
Very surprised Piscari is what I should be saying. Piscari didn't go a bit closer to see if he can get a shot from one of these, I guess, other doors or other options he has to him, especially with Gink going down. You're not really as pressured as much, but no, he's just sticking by those logs, flicking up and down like he's just playing a game of Time Crisis, just like, oh.
He seems quite chill, doesn't he? He seems happy, like in his natural habitat by these logs.
Oh, wow.
Just clicking on enemy gamers all day. He's right at home, Mr. Piscari, right now.
He's heard me now. He's decided to push up close to these doors so he can get these picks onto these soldiers. He's brought down very low though and can't seem to quite find the pick, and AMS does decide to kind of bomb in. He's feeling a lot of pressure. They are managing to bring it together somehow, Everex. His crossbows are just healing everybody. He's making it so difficult. The sentry gun will finally come into play slightly, and it's actually doing the majority of the lifting against this ANTIC team, but it's just Gink, it's just Condog, and it's just this sentry gun. Oh, hold my breath. It actually went down now, and Tom is going for the point. He's going for the flankerino, and Gink is the only one to deal with it. He has got an Uber charge though, and the respawners have come in, but Tom's like, mission accomplished, boys. Forced Uber, and I've got out to tell the tale.
Yeah, I reckon they could have done that there, actually. They had like 2 players up on the side of Nunya at one point. I think if they committed there on the side of ANTIC, they may have done that. But they've decided to go for the safe play. They forced out Condog with a nice little Tom play. And now they've got the full Uber. But Ams goes down again. Oh no, where have we seen this before? But Biscari hits a nice headshot. Smear! Oh my god, frags are just trading everywhere. I can't keep up right now. This is insane. As the Uber comes in on the left side, it's just Scrab taking the dregs of that Uber. But let's see what they can do. Tom goes in for a nice jump. He does seem to sort of hit the ground a bit too hard. And he does die. But Scrab taking a 1v1. He does manage to take down Yellen, but not a lot else. Unfortunately, Serotonin falling. But who's that on the point? Oh my god! What a gamer. Outbrained.
Wow, he actually went to the spot where the medic could have actually blocked him. Blocked the only exit point for that medic to get onto the point to make sure it wasn't blocked. What a play coming out from AMS there.
Unreal. Look at the DOMs on the side of ANTIC right now. 4 for Piscari, 3 for Scrab, 1 for pretty much everyone else. Serotonin's even got himself 1. That's pretty impressive stuff. That's dominant right now.
Let's see what the counter move is. He's going for a frontal assault this time. No flanking around, but he kind of whiffs all his rockets. And Hank is having a decent time though. He's picking up a few kills here and there, keeping his team on the fight, but their positioning is on the back foot. And they've got 2 very healthy scouts. And Serotonin's actually the one that's going to be taking a bite out of the nut, as it's only just Hank left and his medic. He's trying to back out. He's begging Hank, please go back. We need to build this Uber, Hank.
They're not even capping mid here. The scouts from ANTIC, they're just charging forward. They wanted that frag. But they do realise that in order to win this round, they do need to kind of cap the points. You know, that's kind of how the game works. They've gone back now. But yeah, at the end of that mid, we just had a bit of a 3v3. But ANTIC had the 2 scouts, whereas Nunya had the demo and scout. So Ratslayer went down really, really quickly. So that you got a 3v2, and that's not looking good. So yeah, great mid from ANTIC, winning that one again. But we do see even Ubers actually. Yellen tries to go for a little peek there at Saw, but does get taken down. So with a pick now, it'd be nice to see ANTIC try and go for this push on the grass. It looks like Smear's walking forward. He's calling for his team to come with him. So they're walking forward now into this far right. Gink and Hank spotting them out on that roof, looking to put some spam in. But Tom goes forward, gets great damage onto Condog. Wow, great surf there. Actually, he's so weak. He's just running away. He does manage to hold on to that. Great stuff from Condog.
I wonder if the team would have been brave there and just played off the positioning that, or the room that Tom created. If they just went in and off of all that space, I think they could have actually pushed them out of that second quite successfully. Even got like a random sort of meat grinding kill spree, but the Ubers will be exchanged out on middle instead. And it was ANTIC that was the one to pull the trigger last, so it will be the rest of Absolute Nuts backing out for now. Hank is trying to hold his own in this Saw area, and both teams are just kind of sheepish about pushing out, but no, I say that Nuts are actually going in. They're going into the thick of it, and they will be the one to get the first blood, but they can't seem to quite find the positioning or the follow-up, and this is why you don't really see teams just kind of running into each other like this, Everex. It's very difficult for the aggressive team, and they're being punished for it now. Condog is running away yet again. Love this image. Oh, actually, Gink, he turns around. I want to take this fight, he says, and now Scrab is actually the one that will punish him. But Serotonin will get the glory kill, and eventually, after trading back and forth, they will get this second point, Everex.
Yeah, that was. I liked that from Nunya actually. They realised they're quite low on time. They just tried to take that sort of even fight. Neither team had their Uber. They went for a bit of a DM fight. But ANTIC just showing them, we have the superior DM guys. You should probably just step down, not even try, you know? And they just wiped the floor with them. And they've now chased Nunya all the way back to last. So it's not looking good for them now. They've got 5 minutes to claim 4 rounds, or 3 rounds for the tie, or if they want to win. So it's starting to look pretty difficult. Kondog does take a very meaty rocket as he walks out onto second here with his Uber, but Yellen was so deep. Hank on that spy, looking a bit useless now as he's standing in under. Kondog does die as his Uber fades. That's a lot of picks, but actually, is Hank going to go for something here? I think he's a bit too far behind to be useful right now.
The only way Hank can pull this off is if he DDoSes the Mumble server and then starts silently stabbing all of these players without them knowing what's going on. But no, he still hasn't contributed a single thing right now. If anything, he's like the 7th player to the side of
Oh my god, he
ANTIC.
picks off Serotonin!
Oh my god, he actually
no
gets
way!
Serotonin.
Oh dear, what is going on? Tom is just playing the point, it's getting capped up. That is the 5th round.
I mean, it's a shimmering light over all of a very, very dark situation. I mean, it looks great on YouTube, but it does not look good on the match page.
No, it doesn't. That's a nice little pick for him, but I guess the best he could have got out of that. But, I mean, what does it really mean if you lose the round anyway, right? So, yeah.
I think the fat lady is sung at this point, Everett. We have feasting on literally the trashiest of trash time at this point. I don't think we need one more round to kind of invoke the mercy rule. I'm not sure if either of these teams can give it to us. Hank will open up with this first kill into AMS, and Serotonin actually goes down very early to the Pappy kill. He must have got a nice flank around. They're seeing if they can finish off these very low players over on the side of over the absolute nuts. But Hank is holding his own. Hank is probably the best.
That was insane. Oh my god. Smith went behind Nunya into kitchen and he was standing in their choke for the entire mid. And I think he like piped 2 or 3 players and traded at the end. That was unreal. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen that from a demo before.
Well, with that, I guess, I don't know. And it's still the same scenario or the same ending in the end, EverX. It's just going to be a victory to ANTIC, and quite a comfortable one as well, even though it did start off a bit hairy.
Yeah, it did. The first few minutes, these teams... Okay, Pink. Alright, I see how it is. Oh, it does get cleaned up, and Pappy, yeah, he's going to fall as well. But I think we're definitely into the trash time now, aren't we? Or the garbage time, depending on the favourite word for the same thing. Maybe rubbish. Rubbish time. Why not?
It's time for logs. Log time.
Log time, yeah.
Well, they will get maybe a nice round to kind of further the confidence, you know, the boost ego round to make them feel a bit better. They're going for crits though, and I like this play. It kind of dictates the game, but I don't like it when they miss all the crits though, EverX.
Yeah, that's not good. They went for the crits and they died. They unfortunately weren't invincible, and they didn't quite realise that soon enough. And yeah, Rattler and Kondog did die. Oh, it's hard to give any emotion to this right now because it doesn't matter. ANTIC have won.
Yeah.
Nunya just trying to maybe boost their confidence for the next map, Granary, CP Granary. Everybody's favourite, fast-paced, fun, action-packed map of all time in the history of the world.
How dare you, EverX? That is a masterclass map.
Beta saying, I like Granary in the background. Yeah. It's a pretty good soldier map, I'll give that to you. It's nice and spammy.
It's a true test of every element of a team. You can't just have the same Badlands copy and pasted 5 times. It's time to change it up in these map pools, you know?
Exactly. Hank has been pulling off these hiding plays the entire game, and I think he might get the better of Tom here. Yeah, he does trade. Wow. It's pretty good. Seems like nobody wants to check their hiding spots.
Well, maybe this is the moment. Maybe he'll finally put us out of our misery and get this cap round. Actually, Smear's more interesting. Again, the yellow kill, he will actually get the double air shot onto Smear before smacking.
Oh my god. Kondog was a spy on the point that he was disguised, so he couldn't block it.
You did
Oh
cap
no.
it with the team though.
I guess, yeah.
It's the 7v5 strat. If you're gonna lose, why not switch teams?
If you can't beat them, join them. That's what they say, isn't it?
Man, we really need to pray to Valve and hope that maybe 10 years down after the game, they will install some sort of GG factor into the game. You know, maybe a forfeit, a concede button, anything.
I think exclamation mark GG. That's a nice one. That gotta give up, you know.
I would install that plugin server. Anywho,
No, you can't give up. You gotta fight till the very end, even if you're losing. You know. That's the spirit. You just gotta you gotta go for it.
Unless you're a literal Superman, I don't think you can turn back time and make it mathematically possible again. But you know, I guess for the fun of the game, it's the final like 5 minutes in the shower room, high-fiving each other, just telling you what went wrong, what could have gone better.
Yeah, I mean, Nunya are sort of like all good friends with each other. They've been together for a long time, so I'm sure they can. I don't think they're going to be tilting that hard, if at all. You know, they're gonna get over that, and they're gonna sort of give the same sort of performance that they would if they were coming into it fresh on Granary. I think because they're that sort of team. Well, either that or they'll go like heavy sniper, pyro, spy, that sort of stuff. So we have seen that before from them.
Well,
you never know.
We can, I guess, predict what they're doing in the Mumble all we want, but there's one thing that is for certain, EverX. We can talk about these logs.
We can indeed.
I think we've got you hooked up with the latest in log technology as well.
Oh,
so I think
this is so exciting.
You can see what the stream is seeing. Finally, it only took us 6 weeks.
Yeah.
What we got there.
It's amazing. All right. Well, I've got something to start us off, and that is Piscari, who has, in this map, gone 29 for 4. Unbelievable.
My. That is a fat 7.3 kill to death ratio. You know, 8.8 if you want to include the assist as well.
That is that's ridiculous. There's no other word to describe that other than completely nuts. The absolute nuts. And 16 headshots as well. Oh my god, didn't even factor that in. I guess I was playing sniper for quite a while.
Maybe it's so nutty, in fact, that probably the whole reason why they changed the name back to Nunya.
I think Beta's just going mad on these highlights right now. I can't quite work out what's being highlighted. Oh, okay. He's number 1 in all of those things, apparently. That's good. That makes sense. All right.
The limited technology, though. I see what you mean. When you highlight everything on Piscari, everything kind of wants to take the front stage, and you can't see everything in a way. But yeah, Piscari just had a fat game. But I want to point out a person that surprised me this evening. Go
on then, go for it.
It's Hank. Hank.
Ooh.
I know. It seems he is on the losing side, and you know, not too many people go look at those players quite favourably because in the end, you know, rounds matter more than these logs. But I thought Hank had a really nice game, EverX. It was.
He did. Yeah.
He was holding his own. The fact that he kind of came back for what I can only assume that he hasn't played TF2 for a little bit now, and just to come into this team and be what, well, to me, the star player of that map for the absolute nuts. You know, just a nice golf clap. It was
I guess that didn't quite sound like a clap.
Yeah, not quite.
That wasn't quite what
I think you're a little too happy with Hank's performance there.
Whew. But... All right, let's just pretend that didn't happen and move on. Okay, yeah, Tom Fed, you went 8 for 17. Oh, what a gamer. Condog died 13 times. Yeah, he's pretty bad. Tom picked up some health packs, as did Pappy, but Tom picked up more, which means he's a better roamer. Piscari capped the most, so he's actually just a god. Condog capped once. And is there any chance we can see how many times? Who was it that got that med pick? It was Hank, wasn't it, on the spy? I mean, that's the important stat we need to focus on right now.
I think he did get it, or unless actually they might have Ubered in, and that was like a tail end kill against. Yeah, we're just flicking through all the pages of the long.tf right now, just like. Yeah. Med picks, but
all right. Can somebody explain this screen?
All
right. I don't get it. Like, is it just what does it mean? Like the 1v1s?
This is the Nemesis table. It's like we like to call it, EverX. It's pretty much highlighting who has been picking on who. So, for example, Piscari has taken Gink's ass, and he is he has done vicious things to it.
He's thrown it straight out the window, to be honest. 8 kill difference.
Not a single kill from Gink against Piscari. And keep in mind, this was a sniper v sniper matchup as well. So usually you like to see these kills going here and there between the two players. But no, Piscari destroyed Gink.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. I think the fact that most of the red is on the right side indicates something about that. You know, Nunya were losing quite a few of their 1v1s potentially. Also,
it's another highlight point to notice that Piscari's on that table like 4 times. I mean, he's just short of one more combat class of making like the, I guess the ultimate nemesis board for a player. He's taken out Yellen, he's got Gink, he's got Pappy, even got Ratsley as well. The only person he couldn't find was the person that they dedicate the most resources to not dying, and that is, that was the Condog.
Yeah, it was. I think the heals are pretty standard, although actually Ams and Scrab both taking more heals than Smear. I think that's quite interesting, because I think Smear takes like quite a loose role and you know, does the damage where it's needed, but sort of Scrab and Ams form like the core of the combo. You know, like Ams will jump in and Scrab will try and either take the Uber in and clean up or just follow him up. But yeah, Nunya playing quite sort of standard with their heals.
Actually,
maybe they need to think about a new sort of meta way of playing if they want to beat these top teams right now.
I'm a little surprised in a way, because usually when you've got AMS on your team, it's kind of like just a second roamer, and we did see a little bit of that tonight, but I guess he was just pocketing a little bit more than usual, and there were a few stalemates here and there, so it probably does kind of fiddle with the stats a little bit. And I can remember the times that there were being picks. I think Smear was feeling the brunt end of it as well, so that probably dipped into his heal pool just ever so slightly. But I think we have got some extended logs in the back somewhere, some of Gentleman John's own creation.
How exciting. What is... Oh, look at this technology. Just mental. Now, leading net frags. Piscari, Ams. There we go. That just says it, doesn't it? That just sums it up.
I mean, Piscari tried. He did technically tie for first, so we could probably just squint our eyes a little bit and just say that Piscari reigns true everywhere on the board here. But Scrab was doing a decent time as well. There was points where Scrab was doing just as well as Piscari, but there's only so many kills on the map, Everex, so you can't really hold it against these other members of ANTIC if they just can't seem to find these kills, because Piscari's just hoovering all of them.
I mean, the fact that Piscari doesn't play the sort of pocket scout role as well makes me just even more excited about the number of kills he got, because you know he's flanking, he's getting the kills on, you know, he's getting kills without taking heals, which is just even more incredible. I don't know, but we are going live right about now on the second map.
It's time to put the logs away. It's time to pack up the numbers and go back to reality. It is ETF2L Season 27, Week 6, powered by something. I'm not sure if it's still TT Sports. It might be GTUA. But either who, it is ANTIC versus the Absolute Nuts. What's happening with?
Well, Smear is absolutely owning Ratslayer right now. He's about half HP. Smear just taking that high ground on the crate. And the soldiers, including Piscari, going on the left. Ams takes down Condor early. But actually, a lot of frags have gone the way of Nunya. Scrab really weak. Can he clean up? No, Happy does take that. It's actually a load of trades, and then Tom wins. No way, a 3k from him.
Thomas not only got a 3k, he got so much damage on that mid as well. It looked like it was most certainly in the bag for the Absolute Nuts there. When they were in that corner over on the side of ANTIC being torn apart, I was like, they've lost this. Tom was the only one that was kind of in a nice position, and he got so much damage, Everex. You don't understand. And not only that, he got the cleanup frags onto those final 3 players. I think he might even got another kill as well during that mid. So, big Tom.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. I mean, 4 players went down really early from ANTIC, actually. It was looking pretty hairy from them. But yeah, great showing from Tom. It's gonna equalise that one out and win the mid. But they're not going to be winning an awful lot more, as we do see quite even Ubers. Serotonin on a small advantage, about 20 right now, but on this sort of quite long, choke pointy map, I don't think they're going to be able to use this effectively if they try and go for something. It looks like ANTIC are walking through choke now. They maybe want to take this Uber in. as Condog and Co are holding in yard, so Tom does go down on the flank, so that's going to be a bit of a cancel, and Gink is in. He's not really doing a lot of damage, and he does get cleaned up. So yeah, bit of a trade, but actually Nunya, they're quite aggressive in this choke point right now. Let's see what they can do.
I'm not sure about this move. Yellen decides to actually go for the aggressive bomb in, and he's being shot by so many people on the side of ANTIC that he will go down. It's very, very difficult to make this bomb happen because your scouts can just be perched up onto the those little boxes up there, Everex, and you're pretty much meeting that soldier at a head-to-head level. So very optimistic from Yellen. They will compromise their yard area for that little play. So not worth, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, ANTIC just absolutely taking the most they could off that, and here comes the Uber from them. In fact, it does get popped off. Yellen was really weak. He just gets saved by that flash. But a bit of a slightly better solo Uber from Nunya, meaning that that's going to be an unsuccessful attempt. So unless any shenanigans are going down on the flank, such as, in fact, this Ayak Gink sniper. Let's see what he can do as he's peeking the shutters right now.
This is a horrible place to snipe, really. I don't know. There's not much you can really accomplish as a sniper between these two places. Sure, you can get like a surprise pick onto these doors, but it's, I guess, a little bit difficult to kind of just like flick and hope to get the pick like that.
What's this actually? ANTIC have made their way all the way into Lunchbox. They've taken all this room. Tom is up top currently holding that little corner, and Ams is in. He does get picked off. That's quite unfortunate. I think they could have dropped, you know, pulled the drop off there. Just dropped into Nunya's face and just owned them, but they decided to back out as soon as Ams died. That seems to be a theme with them, actually. As soon as one of their soldiers dies, they just want to hightail it away. But Smear with a nice pick onto Gink. Going to be taking down that sniping capability. So, yeah, it's still a bit of a stalemate right now.
I think with AMS going down, these are just these peaks are just by design. AMS wants to just go aggressive with his peak, see if he can kind of outplay somebody on these random corners, or maybe just see if he can get a nice damage going and then lead it up with an Uber. But
yeah,
sometimes that just does cost your life sometimes, and they do react to it appropriately. They do back out as soon as that scenario happens, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fairly low risk play, and it's you know, it might not work a few times, but times like that where Ams picks off Pappy, it is going to work, and they have themselves a pick. Great ruck onto Ratslayer, takes him down extremely weak. He does drop, actually. Ams, great flank. He gets the force onto Condog as well. Absolutely fantastic play from Ams. Just completely uncontested on the side of Nunya.
That was very, very, very greedy coming out from Nunya there. When they knew that AMS was behind like that, they had to either send Yellen up top to find him and make sure he doesn't just like area deny that I guess the indoor area of the second point, and they actually, no time to talk now, they are making the push in with their own Uber, and they're getting kind of slaughtered by this heavy weapons guy. They are deciding to focus him out now, but he's bought so much time for the enemy team and these respawners to do all this damage to him. It's just Tom left, but he's got nothing in the tank to really contribute in the end, and the heavy rules supreme, Everex.
Yeah, they needed a mid-level Tom performance to really clutch that. Maybe like a 1-on-4 winning that to win the round, but no. They did get absolutely demolished by that heavy on high ground. I think ANTIC seem to be going for the pushes where... Oh, great pick. Smear takes down Ratslayer. That's going to be slowing that one down an awful lot, even though Condog does have his Uber. So...
It's time, Everex. It's time for the AMS spy. And I'm not sure if you know, but I feel like Ams is quite famous for these spy plays not working out. Oh no! He actually blocks the door from Condog! I called it, man. I saw it in the crystal ball. I saw it in the flames.
No, that's so unlucky.
AMS is not lucky with the sniper, with the spy at all.
Yeah, Pappy getting a 2k onto Smear and Scrap there with that Uber. So Serotonin has 60%. But let's see if Nunya can chase ANTIC into mid before he builds it up. Pappy going for a nice little bomb to take some space. Here comes the recontesting players from ANTIC. Tuscari is out on this battlement area, just spamming down Ratslayer. But I think they may be giving this up. Ams seems to be in right now, but the rest of his team is not there to follow up. And Pappy is going to be cleaning him up. But here we go. Actually, they're walking forward now. And Nunya, they've just backed off with the back cap. Yeah, I didn't even notice until just then.
Nobody expects the rubber back cap. It's a shame that he kind of whiffed that rocket there. Oh, what an air shot!
Whew. Spicy.
I was like, oh man, he flipped that thing. That would have been a great round. Oh my god, he redeemed himself in 2 seconds. Okay, Tom.
If he won that round, that would have been play of the century. I don't even know what that would have been. That was amazing. Yeah, pulled the entire of Nunya all the way back to their last. Oh no, I think we have a pause.
Yeah, we need a pause after that. What was a
Tom's just, he's shaking himself off. He's like, right, let's just calm down after that play.
It probably looked a bit mediocre maybe from a certain angle, but all I saw was Tom was jumped to the point. He had like half a second to like turn around, look at where that soldier was coming from, and get the shot onto him. It looks so good from the first person angle.
Yeah, I'm pretty jealous that you caught that in first person. Actually, I was on the third, and it was all right, but it wasn't that sort of cinematic experience that you got.
Yeah, it was an absolute nut.
Yeah, I was sort of mumbling my words a bit on mid as sort of ANTIC and Nunya were both pushing each other in and out, and then I realised that the reason ANTIC were coming back in was the back cap after all. So yeah, nice little play. They've reclaimed all of this space, but it's still 0-0. So not a lot of action from either team in terms of capping the last.
Yeah, they have also sent these Ubers kind of topsy-turvy for on both these sides. I think Condog was the one sitting happy at the mid there, but he must have used at some point, trying to back out or whatever was going down. And now it's the shoes on the other foot. It's Serotonin with the Uber, and I think they're looking to definitely push in at this point. They're just going to heal up Smear, it looks like, from this pause. And where's everybody else positioned? Yeah, they're just going to push in without Tom. I think Aroma is going to be greatly missed on this last push out, although
it's going to be tricky actually, because Tom's all the way back, but so is AMS. So they've actually not got the launching potential that they need to get onto Condog before he builds his up.
Oh, but he'll catch up. He's a roaming soldier. He's got gunboats on. He'll be fine. But
I guess
the thing I'm worried about is this. He's only 90% off over on Condog with this Uber, and that's this is Granary after all. You've got plenty of wide open space, kind of buy time for this 90%. Yeah. So I could see it definitely happening.
I mean, that's what I want to see them do. I wanted to see them jump a soldier in to get onto Condog with the flash of the Uber, take him down, and then with the rest of the Uber, his team can win the fight. But because I don't think they're going to be quite there in time, I think what's going to end up happening is they either sort of walk in slowly and try to not pop off their Uber on the side of ANTIC and just try and take the space, but that's not really the side of Granary you want to do that on. And I feel like Serotonin may get forced, and it's going to go pretty sour for them. So I think they can do this, but they have to be quite creative and play it to spec, play it properly,
I think though, honestly, I think probably the best play is to just ignore Condog. Just realize that if we're going to win this, we're going to win this in like a snap fighting scenario immediately. Just take out the combat classes. Okay, let's see if I'm correct or not. Oh no, they're just backing out. I know nothing about TF2. That was an option as well.
After all of that.
Well, we kept thinking like, oh, they might push this way, or they might push this way, but this is TF2. They're not going to
But actually, no, they've got so much... Oh, no, they don't. I thought they had so much cap time, but my HUD just updated and they don't. Okay, ignore that. That's a complete lie. Whew.
They're just poking around in typical AMS fashion, see if you can get around and pick up somebody. Tom will get overpowered on this flank, however, and Yellen is trying to find his way in, but will back off, and it's still 0-0, just to remind you, Everex. This is quite a high tense game.
Yeah, Genk is on the heavy, and that worked well for them last time in terms of the defense, but Piscari has switched to, you guessed it, Sniper. So you might as well just give up if you're Nunya right now. You're like, right, okay, they're pressing tab, or they got their spy to check or something, and they're like, okay, Piscari's gone Sniper. What do we do?
Well,
because there is no answer to that, to be honest. Genk hasn't really been showing up to defeat him.
I'm going to use my best educated guess and assume that Piscari gets some sort of nice headshot or opening pick, because the pause earlier, usually that dictates whether or not somebody wins the round, or some, these pauses usually come out after a round. And, oh, actually, I say that, now this is where the point where the pause happens, so I guess I don't know anything again about TF2, making predictions coming out of my arse, but it will finally push out now. AMS is going for this peak yet again, and Piscari's caught out. He can't quite get out. Oh no, it's just a grand debate, and he will get the pick onto Hank, who's looking for that Piscari kill. And he's still peeking. Biscari gets the kill onto Yellen this time. Kind of, I guess, paying for that debt that AMS.
Here comes Tom. He's
Oh.
jumping in. He does great damage to Ratslayer. Doesn't actually manage to take him down. Bit of a whiffed rocket. Oh dear, oh dear. But yeah, Ham's just been playing these corners so well. He's just getting picks. They haven't quite managed to capitalize off it as a team, but as an individual, I think Hams has been doing really, really well so far in this game. Is that another pause?
Yeah, it's another pause. But
exciting.
It was very, very strange, really. Like, looked like they were buying so much time, or just creating quite enough room, taking out those few players. And when Tom gets the massive jump in, you're like, okay, this is it. This is the point where they make the grand push and they get so much damage in and they just trade the Rubers. But they were incredibly absent on the side of ANTIC. I'm not sure if they were just getting ammo again or just healing up or something along those lines. But there was the ANTIC team was just sorely missed during that.
Yeah, they had 2 picks onto Nunya, didn't they? And they just didn't capitalize at all.
And the Tom damage as well. There was big Tom damage. I mean, I can only predict that Tom was screaming his lungs saying that push, push, push. This is the time.
I mean, perhaps ANTIC are just comfortable to sort of hold in this position. They've got the sniper. They don't really want to commit to anything too much on last because that's going to not favour them as much because obviously Nunya can have these defensive off-classes, but ANTIC have got their sort of offensive off-classes in the form of Biscari. So I think they're just going to wait for the god play from him, maybe a drop, maybe a 6k with headshots. Who knows? But they're just going to wait for that and just walk in and cap. Is my prediction for this anyway. Or nothing will happen for 20 minutes. That could happen.
Everex, I'm awfully out of touch when it comes to gamers nowadays. I'm not really familiar with the fresh blood. But can you tell me about the Yellen sniper? Is he a talent? Is he good? Is he bad? Because he's rocking it right now.
Oh, I see. Right, he's on the sniper. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him snipe. Maybe this is going to be his sniping debut, hitting some headshots. I mean, Gink didn't have the answer to Biscari earlier, but maybe
Okay.
maybe he does. Or maybe he doesn't. He's just going to switch off after all that.
Oh, the Demo Man pick, that's a big kill. And from there, they can just abuse these doorways. And this is just music to Ams's ears. Now he's got all these options to decide to peek from.
He does indeed. Let's see if ANTIC are going to try and take this on the right side. I think they're walking in now. They're committing, making space for Biscari. And actually, he's not doing a lot of damage, but Scrap goes down, but all in the name of forcing Condog. And oh my god, a drop! Happy, what a roamer. He does manage to drop off Serotonin there, so he thought he was going to be escaping, but in fact he wasn't. So it's all up to any back caps now, potentially, but I think there's going to be nothing of the sort as, yeah, Nunya, after all of that time, ANTIC. I just keep getting interrupted by Biscari, just don't even worry about it, you know. Oh, what is this? 3k, 3 kills for ANTIC.
Even got like a nice little flanking kill, I suppose. They got like a nice body shot onto Ratslayer, and it was very easy for Scrab to clean up the kill there. So nice little sync play coming out from the flank of ANTIC. But yeah, I think that was just that was Serotonin Man from earlier. I think he was just being a little bit greedy with that Uber. He really didn't want to pop it because he was on the back foot, and he got punished for it. But it's okay. It seems his teammates have bailed him out, and this is probably the point where they paused in the game.
Yeah, potentially. I think Nunya are going to be starting to kick themselves now. They just keep losing these players and losing these fights.
What?
They should be winning. And,
have we travelled back in time, have we, Rex? Ratslayer's gone back down again to the sniper in the exact same spot.
This is the exact same situation playing out right now. So Uber gets forced off from Condog. But Serotonin actually can't drop right now because he didn't have his Uber. So it's not going to be an exact repeat, only somewhat close.
Yes, I mean, Serotonin must be asking himself at this point, I've been here before, what do I need to do differently now? He's just looking at that right mouse button. He's like, I know what I need to do.
Yeah, bit of a deja vu right there. It's rare to see. Here we go though, the full advantage push from ANTIC as they launch in now. They take down Gink straight away on that heavy. They've got to deal with this sentry gun on the left and the stickies on the point if they want to win this round. But actually, it's just a bit of a reload wave at the moment. Amsters go down weak, and Pappy cleans him up. Biscari with a nice headshot onto Condog, taking down the heels. Tom with a 1v1 onto Ratslayer, so it's all up to Biscari and Serotonin to win this now. Actually, Biscari can do this. They're both very weak. He takes down Hank. Can he take down Pappy? He's on 80 HP. It's going to be tricky now with the respawners coming in. They almost had that, but they just couldn't quite convert.
Man, that's a shame as well. I could see Hank was like slightly scared. He knew he didn't want to come out against the SMG. I thought they would just bum rush the guy, but no, they were both kind of playing terrified there. But hey, they held on to the last. That's all that matters, I suppose. But it looked very, very. It looks like the absolute nuts made it very difficult for themselves. For starters, they had Gink very close to the door as a heavy weapons guy. Just made it so the damage on him was very lethal and deadly, and he's doing it again. So won't be surprised if he goes down very early. Actually, no, this time he decides to surf away, but he will get cleaned up in the end anyway. And they have got a sentry gun to kind of delay things, but he will go down very early. And they've sent a bomb onto Corndog, and now they can just play the heals, and they don't even need to. They just swamp the point, and the first round will finally get onto the board after about 14 minutes or so has passed on the clock. It will be an ANTIC round.
Yeah, and that's not good for Nunya at all. Actually, they've used half of the map time on a single round, and it's actually gone the way of ANTIC. So they may potentially just slow this right down. And it's going to be very, very difficult for Nunya to do anything against that round advantage. But let's see what's going to happen. Smear opting to roll out at the top right now. He's not doing a lot of damage to Ratslayer, actually, but Scrab's walking across straight away. Yellen with a great high bomb on top. Let's see if he can clean up. Pappy's going behind as well. And Smear takes down Condog as well. So that's going to be no heals at all for Nunya. What's going to happen now? Scrab just getting cleaned up. They're all so weak. There's about 10 HP between these players. Piscari just chipping Pappy down, so I think with just Hank left alive, and was he a respawner? No, he's in. He's on the left side. He's 1v1 Piscari. Can he do this? He's doing good damage. He's running to the pack, but it's not quite there. It's up now. Oh, he's just juking and diving around right now. I think he's going to get out.
He's delayed them a huge amount of time during all that fighting. Piscari wasn't capping the point, and neither were the other combat classes. They were just kind of pivoting around. They're actually going in for the second mid Everex. Time for a redo.
Yellen is jumping in. He's doing good damage to Tom. Can Tom escape? No, he can't. Yellen with great rocket takes down Smear and Tom. So that's going to be a recap of mid from Nunya, actually. After all of that. Wow.
Yeah, so they've decided to go crits over on the side of Condog and co. But I actually was running crits to mid as well, but died very early during that mid. Oh, what a fight from Ratslayer! Get destroyed here, man.
The taunt as well. Absolutely rubbing that in. Wow. That's fantastic.
That was tasty.
It was.
Right. Time for seconds as they're pushing in. They actually will lose Ratslayer and they will lose Hank. It seems like they get so ahead of themselves. Yellen got a nice double kill earlier, and then he just jumped into like 3 or 4 players and died.
Here comes the crits. Oh, great rock into Smear. Doesn't quite manage to kill him though. It does go down in the end. They just need to clean up. Scrab tries to run in. And the scouts as well. Piscari goes down. So nice 3k crits, but Tom with the flank does clean up Condog in the end. So that was a nice little try. Nunya lost 3 players in that, well, before the Uber actually. So they redeemed themselves a few frags, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough.
They can definitely hold on to this mid though.
They can, yeah. Tom and Gink having a 1v1. Gink actually wins that on about 10 HP. Fantastic. So they've got a pick now. Move forward into Yard and try and take some space on Nunya.
Yeah, that crits was, I don't know, it seemed like some people were making the call to avoid the crits, some people were making the call to bum rush the crits, and they kind of did this weird mixture of the two, where both of the scouts went down. So there goes your capping prowess for that mid-fight take, that mid-point take, I should say, and from there it just kind of stunted the push, so they had to just kind of back off, and they do have the Uber charge now, and they're still rocking the crits over on the side of Corndog and friends, so they're getting the wrapped around though, and a nice little surf coming out from Corndog. The Uber will be popped off. AMS wants this Corndog kill. He needs the Corndog kill. He won't get the Corndog kill.
Oh no. Yeah, he slithers away into choke, and actually he does a nice rocket at him, but he does get taken down. Yeah, Nunya, excuse me, ANTIC had their Uber there, and they were trying to wrap around, but 2 of their combo players actually went to fight the flank, so Amos was in completely alone with Serotonin on mid. But in the end, I think ANTIC are going to be capping this up on the point right now, so that almost went quite badly for them, but they have pulled it out in the end. But actually, Hank is in there. They're running away. They don't want that. They don't want any part of these Nunya players as they're walking straight back into mid right now.
Very back and forth fight between both of these teams, but I'm trying to think how I can get into the thick of things. Maybe I can quickly gloss over. Oh, no time. They're actually making the push into this this ramp room now and going all the way up into the balcony area. See if they can kind of cut off this entire room by just getting this balcony control, but instead they just decide to opt onto the point instead, and Smear hasn't got the health to really keep it well spammed, so they will give up the second. They're looking to make the crits, and they will get a kill onto Piscari, but that's the only kill they seem to find. Seratone's in a place that there's no way a sticky can really hit him. The crits are up, and the kills are slightly going the way of both of these teams right now, and the heavy weapons guy has been pulled out. Tom is just slowly chipping down all these players. Get out of my last point, he says, and he will flee. Oh, there's an Uber charge in second actually. They're still chasing these players. Pappy giving them the good Jucarinos. He will finally get taken down, and a few more players were just kind of bum rushing Seratone. They will get the Seratone kill, but what cost Everex? They're losing the point.
Yeah, that was unreal. There were about like 5 different fights going on at the same time right then. Yellen had a nice little flank onto Seratone at the end and took him down. So Condog has some form of advantage. Whether or not it's crits or Uber, I've yet to find out. It's crits. So they may be trying to use this as before. But yeah, Ratslayer's crits not particularly effective. I mean, they got the crucial pick, don't get me wrong. They got Piscari. Like, they're going to be happy about that, but it's not quite enough to win the round.
Speaking of Piscari, but actually, Kink was playing Spy and he's been caught out, but they've got Piscari behind, and I think he's finally going to wrap around while there's some fighting kicking off on the second point. And let's see if he can make the play. He's desperately trying to find all these players, and during all that time of running about, he's kind of lost them. And they will get the second point, and he just gets found out in the end.
He's going to lose as well. He loses the 1v2 actually with Pappy and Hank. So a bit of an unfortunate flank from Piscari.
That was a very, very long flank Everex as well. So
I think words are leaving us both right now. It's getting a bit late.
Yes, indeed.
Oh dear.
They are fighting for this point back, but Yellen, he doesn't want to give it up for free. He is trying to spam out the point, but they're just slightly smidging it. There we go. So they will claim the point back, and they've actually brought a heavy weapons guy on the side of Gink, but I'm not sure if this is the play really. I think they might have spotted Gink, and yeah, they've actually decided to pop the Uber onto him. Okay, I guess that worked out. So it will kind of bring these Ubers out of flux and makes this crit streak a lot more potent. And look at it, they're arming themselves on this right hand side, and I think they're a little bit worried about it because they must know at this point that they're running a full-time crit. And I kind of agree with this Everex. They want to kind of dictate the pace of the game. They pop the crits though. There's nobody to fire upon. And they're trying to find people. They eventually will get some crits around this corner, but it's so easy to dodge these critical rockets.
Yeah, that wasn't really the ideal time to pop for them. I think they maybe just got a bit trigger happy, thought that ANTIC were going to be hiding around the corner, ready to eat their stickies into their face, but they just weren't. They were nowhere near. So a Tom on the flank does pick off Yellen, but he's actually a trade at the end of the day, with Ratslayer going down. Oh, all this leapfrogging right now. It's incredibly exciting. Who would have thought that Granary would have been this fast-paced? I definitely wouldn't.
Well, it looks like Pappy wants to go for the flank round, but he's been spotted by the other soldier, so there's nothing really going to come from that. AMS will clean him up as well, a little hallway fight, and they've got the Uber charge. Seratone is pushing in with Scrab and Smear on this left-hand side, and they won't really be met by much resistance as well, so they probably get into this mid for 3. They've got so much ground, they're scaring them off with this Uber charge, and I can see why. They've got this crit streak, but what is...
Here it comes, the crit stickies from Ratslayer. Are they going to catch anything? No, Seratone just pops off his Uber straight away. Actually, Yellen gets picked off, but the Gink heavy around the corner. He's got 450 HP, and he's ready to unleash hell. But I don't think he's going to. Ams might get caught, but that could be about it. In fact, he's going to jump away. Wow, what an arrow from Seratone. Holy crap. That was pretty nuts. And Hank and Gink going down as well, so no scouts at all. But Tom with a great bomb onto Condog as well takes him down. This is starting to look very, very bad for Nunya. Only these 3 players left alive to defend. ANTIC are walking forwards now. Let's see if they're going to spot these stickies. Yes, they are. No one getting caught off by those. Good stuff, but Ams and Yellen actually having a little trade on the flank. Pappy's all the way behind, he's just jumping back right now. And both Piscari and Scrab have gone back.
Yeah, he's drawn a lot.
He's gonna drop. Oh dear.
He's drawn a lot of eyes, and you know, has wasted a lot of time on the side of on ANTIC though. I mean, they are slowly but surely taking this point, but you can't help but think that if they got a little less greedy finding the Pappy kill, they would have capped off this second and maybe even capped off the last at this point.
Oh no, and Smear going down as well. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They should have just focused what was in front of them and not what was behind, potentially. They could have taken that round quite easily, I reckon. But Serotonin has his Uber, and here it comes without second even being capped. Ams and Scrab are in deep. Scrab does manage to find Condogs. That's exactly what they needed. He trades at the end of the day, but I think that's worth it. So Pappy is on the flank now, and he may be able to block the point, actually. Ams is not quite fully buffed. He does good damage, and actually he's got Hank with him, and they do manage to secure that kill. Blocking second, in fact, so Condog goes down, but there's no last push to talk about, as Nunya have, for the moment, defended their second.
They've got all the pieces of a successful push, Everex, but it's a shame they keep doing it back to front. They're like pushing into last before they cap second. They're going for the people that are behind when they should be pushing forward. It's so confusing. But I guess they will be slightly punished and pushed all the way back to the mid again. This is still remaining to be an action-packed Granary so far.
Yeah, here comes Nunya as well. Yellen goes in, but Tom with a fantastic air shot. Oh my god. Just absolutely boops him out of the sky. Straight into the ground, and Pappy may get caught as well. I think he's going to be escaping. Yeah, 9 HP. That's or 8 HP actually. That's 7 more than he needs, so he's happy right now.
Well, Corndog has finally made the executive call, and he has got himself off of this crit streak. No more crit streak disadvantage for this man, as he will have an Uber. And this might catch them off guard, because
Gink's gone drop down actually. He's on the flank right now. He's shooting Piscari, takes him down. That's a great pick. He's dodging around Spear, but he's not going to be able to get that kill at all. Pappy getting caught on the flank as well, a little bit too aggressive maybe. So that's 2 picks that ANTIC can potentially work with. They're pushing into Lunchbox right now. Am's looking to take this forward with the Uber. Yellen a little bit caught out up top, but
nice
Ams does get taken down. Yeah, great pipe. So what are they going to be doing now? The respawners from Nunya are on their way to defend second, but I think they're just going to call that a day with Ams going down and just stay outside for a moment. They've got a round, and with only 5 minutes left, they're quite comfortable, but actually the fighting players now forces off the Uber from both teams. Slightly better from ANTIC, but I don't think they've got anyone with them to really clean this up. It's just Scrab in the Uber. So Yellen on the right side now, looking to come in with his team. Scrab's extremely weak, he's just backing off right now. And the space of this map is going the way of Nunya at the moment. Piscari absolutely neat shots, Yellen. Unbelievable. Pappy's in for a jump. He knows Ams and Serotonin are quite weak. He doesn't manage to get anything, but that's it's done the job of extending this fight a little bit. But Nunya, they were looking like they're going to get this. But actually, no. Pappy going down as well. They're just bleeding players slowly but surely. ANTIC with the superior DM right now.
God, there's so much I want to get caught up on, Everex. I want to get into the meat of this analysis, but they just keep fighting. They keep going.
It's too fast.
Uber is popped off. Yellen's trying to jump away. He actually probably will get away. He just needs a nice crossbow up. The Uber gets exchanged out, but Scrab got the kill onto Gink during all that. Hank will find him eventually, but they can't really get anything majorly done with this Uber charge. They still get the second free in a way. It's Tom sneaking behind. Oh no, he actually meets up the soldier instead, and Yellen will get a random smear kill. I'm zooming all over the place, Everex. Even no clip can't save me from all this action.
Oh, Ams with a great flank, actually hides around that on that forward spawn, takes down Condog. But Yellen follows up pretty quickly onto Serotonin, so that's not going to be great. And there's just no clear direction that any of these fights are going at all. Just 1v1s all over the place, and you can't really say one way or another which team looks more dominant in the fight at all, because that's just unbelievable. He takes down Piscari. Fantastic.
What the hell is going on? Okay, AMS has rejoined the fight, and he's going to get killed anyway. He just jumps into his own death.
Yeah.
And eventually, finally, maybe this mid will go towards goes towards the absolute nuts. They can probably still fight it though, believe it or not. I think if they just took the aggressive posture, and they could have still totally fight that, but they decide to just cash in and just go with the sniper instead. No, actually no, they will respawn back and bring everybody back to their original class, just fight on second instead. And they're not letting up on the side of Absolute Nuts. They're feeling the adrenaline in their veins, and they're trying to wrap around to this this left-hand side, and they will get Yellen behind. They will take out Tom, but they will clean up that little flank maneuver from
Here comes Biscari though, he's up top. Is he going to find anything? I think he's going to wrap all the way to drop down. He might catch Condog out here. He drops down to 3 players. That's not what he wanted to see. He wanted to see a medic alone, but he actually jumped into the face of some buff players. That's not too good. So Nunya in the driving seat of this round at the moment. They have mid. So they need to get this round at least, if not another one. They may be just happy to tie it up and go for that golden cap. Take the points away from ANTIC at the moment, but here we go. I think we're going to see them try and work into the shutter area slowly but surely, but Gink going down the flank once again. So this just keeps happening. Players keep dying before the pushes actually start. That's not where you want to be seeing at all.
It's very low. The crossbow will bring him back to health. Both of these teams just kind of reset things and try to go back in again. And they've got to be feeling the squeeze of the timer at this point, Everex. It's just 1 minute 40 seconds left on the clock. Both of these teams have popped their Uber, but they look a lot stronger on the side of the Absolute Nuts, just posturing a little bit better. They're trading kills here and there, but the ground is just looking a little bit better for the Absolute Nuts. They will eventually cap off that point, and they're actually making a go of it from this last push as well, playing off the player advantage. But there are a lot of respawners on the side of Absolute Nuts as well. They're going to take a little bit of time of getting back into there. They will actually get everybody out without losing a player. That's very good, but with just 1 minute left on the clock, that's time for maybe one more Uber.
Gink's gone spy actually, and
oh man, this is a lot of
yeah, I think it's starting to look tough for them. They've got exactly a minute to go. They need to get this round. They almost had it. I think if they committed to that fight at the end when ANTIC didn't quite have their respawners, I think that would have been their best chance. But actually, Ratslayer jumps straight forward with the Uber. They've got taken so much space, but the sentry gun just denying them.
Heavy down.
With a great stab onto Tom and a sap, but that's not going to work out in the end.
It gets knocked off. That's pretty rare in TF2. And they're fighting on this right hand side, but they're scared of the sentry gun. They can't really spamming it down, or at least not effectively as well. And all this time is just playing into the ANTIC's hands, as they will get the respawners and slowly grind away at the Absolute Nuts. It's just Pappy left. Pappy, he's trying to do it. He's trying his best. He's just one man though, and there's 12 seconds left on the clock. They have to make a push. They have to go.
Yeah, Pappy dived in onto Serotonin. It's looking, they're going to need a miracle now. They've got 4 seconds. Yellen, I think he's going to jump to the point. No, the Sticky's just taken down straight away. Oh, what a game. That was actually interesting. I'll tell you what, I wasn't expecting an interesting game. And that was definitely interesting. It's far too much to analyse for my little head right now. That was a bit back and forth. But yeah, ANTIC just grinding out that 1-0. That's absolutely crushing. You know, Nunya, that's not what you want to lose to. 1 round. I mean, come on.
I mean, it may have looked exciting, but it kind of turned into a bit of a shit show at some point, where both teams were just literally holding the W key at each other and just throwing each other, hoping that they can just click a little bit better than the other team can. And I guess ANTIC can just click a little bit better. But there were, you know, moments of genuine brilliance between both of these teams, but there were parts where it was just getting very scrappy.
Yeah, it was. I think one big thing from both teams, actually, not necessarily just Nunya, but before any push, you'd always see like somebody dying, you know. But I mean, it would be met with a trade, but that initial death is just, it's going to add some sort of uncertainty, and the plan that the teams had in their head for the push potentially just goes out the window pretty much straight away. So it's why I think that game was so messy. But we do have some logs we can have a gander at. AMS, not so great in the old KD department, but in terms of damage, he was doing his bit. He was turning up. 1.6k damage.
Look at the damage taken as well. 10k. That's he's towering above everybody else. With look at the next person down from the enemy team. He's like almost double the damage taken compared to Pappy. So that's just the life of a peeker, I suppose. He's literally peeking every single door, seeing if he could just squeeze out these advantages from just exchanging these good key rockets. And I guess it was successful at points, especially I can remember at last and stuff like that. It was working. It's very good for Granary because usually you don't really have the option to kind of just throw your player in and hope for the best because it's not really set up for that too well. But for peaking, it's more of a peaker's map.
Yeah, definitely. One thing as well, Condog had quite a few more deaths than Serotonin, almost double in fact. So, I mean, how many of those were drops? I can't quite. I don't think we saw any drops in particular. No sort of pretty epic plays because it was a reasonably slow game. Not a lot of fast momentum swinging that comes from something like a drop. But yeah, just if the heals aren't there, especially on a very spammy map like this, if your medic's down, it's going to be an awful lot harder to win the fight. And a lot of the time, that's what ANTIC were doing. They just had their DM and heals, and they were playing around that a lot better. Smear actually had a pretty fantastic game, 19 for 9, with a solid amount of damage as well.
I'm gonna lay my life on the line. I'm gonna defend Corndog just a little bit here because most of these deaths came from the slight tunnel vision play coming out from ANTIC, where they were pushing these last and they were like, right, we need to get this medic down as soon as possible, and they were focusing him down. But there were points where he didn't really have an Uber, or he didn't have the threat of the Uber, and they would waste so much resources trying to get Corndog down, and they would get him, as the stats would say, but they just left all these other players alive over on the side of the absolute nuts, and they would just kind of defend the last point from that point on.
Yeah, that's true. They would indeed. Gink pulling out his off classes. I have to say, he had a pretty good time on the Putis. Maybe not so much sniper inspired.
It was the heavy at the start. I like the heavy playing back. Maybe it's just my natural bias. I guess I'm just thinking like, oh, this is the way you play TF2, and this is the way you play TF2. But I don't really like it when the heavy's kind of sacked the way that Gink does. He wants to just trade his life away at the very start of that Granary fight and just kind of be a massive blob, when I feel like he can play a lot more greedily with that heavy on the last point like he did at the start of the game. And I feel like those defenses were going a lot better for Nunya than they were towards the tail end.
Yeah. Beta's just highlighted actually 132 DPM from Gink.
Wow,
shaking my head.
That's a TurboTabs damage per minute.
Oh dear, that's I mean, it is tough as a scout on this map. You know, you've got to pull out that DM and the moves and the aim. If you want to do well, it's you know, there's not a lot of gimmicks you can use potentially. But saying that, I think Gink did manage to actually 1v1 Piscari a few times, and he took him down, which brought some pretty good opportunities for his team. He was flanking quite a lot and just abusing that. So that's potentially why the stats aren't looking so good for him. But yeah, in terms of the heals again, I mean, it's pretty standard. Again, Ams and Scrab taking more than Smear, so that kind of backs up what we saw on the last map, Snakewater.
Look at the Tom heals. He don't need no stinking heals.
No,
only 8%. And he was having an okay game. Most of it was, you didn't really get to see Tom that much apart from these mid fights, but from memory, it feels like Tom had a lot of good mid fights going for him. I maybe be a bit more interested to see the mid fight panel of the logs. Maybe that can like kind of tell or confirm some of my suspicions. But I think he had a pretty nice mid. Yeah, look, see, there you go. There's the Thomas stat that I wanted to see. He's got a nice mid turnout, and a lot of people say on this Granary game, you win the mid, you win the round. So Thomas playing a very, I guess, it looks like he's only done 5% for his team, but it's a very important 5% of the game.
I mean, it is true. He did win the round, or ANTIC did win the round that he won that mid. The first clutch that we saw.
Also, he had some
pretty fantastic.
He did save a few rounds as well. Remember the back cut from Tom as well.
Yeah, of course. Who could forget? That was a pretty fantastic play. But I think we do have some players waiting. Okay, I should just give up on words right now. This is not working. Okay, we have some players waiting very patiently to be interviewed. We have ourselves, AMS, and okay, I've just local muted instead of unmuted.
You have to, yeah, there you go.
Right,
unmute them manually. We do not have the technology.
There we go. I did it. Hooray! Praise me. All right, don't praise me. All right, how you doing, guys? How did that go?
Epic, amazing.
Epic. Wait.
Am I shooting off the questions here?
Sure, go for
Go
it.
for it.
Oh boy. Congratulations, guys, on the Fat 6 ETF12 points. Was this the... were you predicting this game to just be as easy as it looked, or...?
I don't know. I probably thought it would be a bit cleaner. Like, first map was good. Second map we struggled a bit more than we should have. I don't think they were playing the best TF2, and we just kind of started like doing dumb shit as well, because you kind of get caught up like in all the dumb shit, so you start doing dumb shit yourself, basically.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, it was a bit scrappy potentially at the end of Granary. Was that something you guys were playing comfortably into, or was it sort of an example of Nunya taking you by surprise, or did you feel in control basically?
I felt in control the whole map, basically. Like, most of it was just us like pressuring them on their last, right? Like, I felt in control. I didn't really like in the end, maybe like when they were pushing and we lost like Tom to a spy or something. There was a bit of a scary moment, but for the rest of it, like I felt in control of the game.
Yeah, cool. I mean, Snakewater was pretty dominant, 6-1. Boscari, your sniper, blimey. I don't think I've seen anything like that in a while. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, for once I hit something unofficial. Like, actually warmed up a bit today, so it turned out well. I was a bit down earlier, but it unofficially it turned out well.
You can feel good after that one. I think somebody in chat said that you went 22 for O on sniper across both of those maps.
Wow.
So, yeah, fantastic stuff.
Oh yeah, I was struggling a bit on the Granary one, but I did fair enough.
I've got to ask, guys. I mean, this is a week 6 game, and both of these teams knew that going into this there wasn't really a chance of a playoff. But how serious were you guys taking this match tonight? Were you guys putting just as much effort as the other games, or did you guys just play some armchair TF2? Did you just try to enjoy yourself?
We probably put more effort into this game than we ever have. Like, we're really like still focused on improving and stuff. Like, regardless of our results, like every day we come on, we want to win, we want to do well. Like, there's no having fun mode for us, really. Like, for us, having fun is just like trying to win. Like, and when we win, it feels good. That's our fun, right? But it's like we don't win a lot, so obviously we put a lot of effort in to try to improve it. And like, even if we play against the worst team, like we warmed up against a high team today and like tied with them and stuff, like we still try our best like all the time. You're never gonna see us not trying.
I wanted to ask, actually, why is it that you think you sort of haven't been winning these officials? Because you've been, putting in strong performances and, just almost there. But, looking at this ETF2L, you've lost quite a few officials. So do either of you have any idea of what you could change maybe to get back in control?
We are already like working on stuff that we can improve and shit like more now.
Yeah, like I said,
I came in fresh a bit.
We're improving very well, like all the time, consistently. Like we're getting better. Like our results have been bad, but the competition this season has been good. Like the teams we've lost to, I don't feel like we've lost to like bad teams. Like Low Panda, like they've played together for a long time, and it's not like the most like individually skilled lineup, but it's a good team. And there's like I don't feel any like. I obviously I'm a bit upset that we wouldn't be able to like make the top 3, top 4 teams, but like we'll get there eventually. Like we're gonna keep playing together, and yeah, it's the goal to just win the whole thing one day.
Yeah, and how are you guys looking in terms of LAN? Because I believe you are all going to I-61, correct?
Yeah, we're going for sure.
Cool. So do you think that you got a bit of time? A couple of months until the LAN. How do you think you're going to be warming up, preparing, staying on your improvement track? You think you're going to be the hot fire at that LAN and putting in a good show?
Yeah, like the only reason we don't really care about, or obviously we care about the season, but we don't care about it as much because we know that in the end it's all about LAN. And I believe that we have strong LAN performers in our lineup, and I think a lot of these teams that can beat us online wouldn't be able to beat us at LAN, but it's yet to be seen because we haven't been to LAN yet, obviously. So yeah, but I have belief in that, and I think we will be good at LAN.
Yeah, cool, good stuff.
I do want to bring it back to online just for a little bit. I just want to maybe ask you about the unexpected team, which are going to be your next week, I guess, matchup. So what's the prediction on that game? Do you feel like it's going to be close, or it's going to be quite cleaner than this game compared to, I guess, yeah. What's your predictions for that next game, basically?
Well, they're a very good team, and we're gonna approach it the same way as we played any team. Like, just gonna try our best and see what happens. Basically, we haven't really scrimmed them. We don't really know how we compare to them, but we know that every time we've played them, it's usually very close. So it should be a good game, at least. You can ask for my prediction. I'm gonna tell you that we're gonna win every time, but.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem like such a silly question, but it's nice to hear the insight that you haven't played them yet and all these other little details. So I guess we'll try and prioritize, make sure we can get that, because I feel like that'll be a really good game actually next week coming into it. But I think I'm out of questions, Everex. I'm not sure about you.
Thinking. I think I may be out as well. I think we've interrogated these guys as best as we can.
All right.
Maybe you have some questions for us. Who knows?
That's not how that works. I do not answer the questions. I ask the questions. But I guess if we've got no more questions, we will give them a nice shout out and give them the opportunity to shout out as well. So AMS, have you got any special people out there that you want to shout the name?
My team's great, and Cadis just sent me a Steam message saying well done. So shout out to Cadis. Thanks, Cadis.
Aw, that's lovely.
Piscari, have you got a special someone out there?
Obviously the old Kela squad, which I begin with playing, and yeah, my team, I guess. XT.
Everex, have you got something as meany as that?
Shout out to my mum for giving birth to me a number of years ago. Great job. I'm very grateful for that.
All right, I too will shout out Everex's mum for giving.
Whoa, hang on a minute. Whoa.
And,
I mean, sure.
I'm going to give a big shout out to all the viewers at home. Atypical, you know, you're the reason we do this. Yada yada, blah blah blah.
You're the real stars of the show.
You've heard this spiel before. I don't need to go through this again. Anywho, I'm going to give a big shout out to Everex for joining me on the CoCast. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you. A big shout out to AMS and Pascal for joining us for the interviews. It's always been a pleasure. And I've got to give the shout out to the pillar of the community, Beta, caster, video editor, producer. He does it all.
Woo! Go Beta.
Yeah, Beta's legend. Wait, I have to do something before I leave. This is very important.
Okay.
Nice, dude.
Wow.
I love it.
I'll make sure to call that off the YouTube. Okay. I'll see. I guess, yeah, we're cutting here. All right.
Oh yeah, shout out to you, Peter. I love you.